done. No fancy stick tricks, no cold water, no... What else is there? Where did my other... No fancy tricks for the grounds. Kind of wish I had got another one of these, but nothing. Just cook it until it's done. No grounds. Nothing fancy. Cook it until it's done. What's going on, guys? I would like to add some bonus content to the end of this video, or maybe I'll work it in the middle. I'm not sure yet how I want to do these. This particular segment I might upload to its own video as well, to also highlight it separately. I do want to get into reviews ish. I want to be really careful about it. I've been fortunate enough to make a lot of great friends in the bushcraft community, and in particular one who loaned this axe to me for over a year now, and on the promise that I promise I'll put it in a video for him. Also a pack I'll talk about next. This particular axe is a Hoffman axe, and I imagine most of you guys know who he is. He was on Forged on Fire, Liam, and my buddy Joseph, who's also a friend of his, loaned me this axe. Yeah, I'm over a year now. A year in this last summer. So I said I would review it. I would give my opinion for whatever that's worth. And trust me, the gentleman that's making these does not need me to do anything for him. My opinion means absolutely nothing. I just like axes, and the chance to talk about one that I got on loan, which I'll be sending back to you, Joseph, very soon. Now, it's great. I've had a great time with it over the year. You're just getting to see it in some video now. I've had it up to the cabin last summer, around the house, splitting some wood, moving some things. I've used the pole, I've used the bit. I've split down with its geometry. I'm overall very pleased, and a lot of you guys who follow my channel for a few years know that I do not like a short axe. I wouldn't call this a small axe, I'd call this a hatchet for me. It's just the way I view it. But as you can see from earlier in the video, it did fine, it did great. I love it. It stinks I gotta send it back. But other than that, I mean, what I like about Hoffman is he's got some crazy attention to detail, and that is big on me. And if anybody's followed me for a couple years knows how I am about that stuff. The grain pattern on the axe cannot be better. It's as good as it gets. And if you can see it in the camera, I don't need to tell you anymore. Straight up and down. He's a little wide for my taste on the head. He's heavier back here, tapers to the front. That's fine. I like a leaner, more old-fashioned handle, more let the head do the whipping. So you do work a little bit with this. As far as grip-wise goes, they are wide. I'd say they are a little bit wider than GB or Wetterlings. But I understand it. I definitely get it. It's a safety thing. He wants the best, strongest handle possible. That's great. I believe he makes a longer version of this now, and that's one I would like to get my hands on, a more boy size. He is doing a Scandinavian pattern. No longer my favorite. Maybe it wasn't to begin with. After the last several years getting into old American patterns, I'm a Connecticut fan through and through. You guys seen that on some older videos. I'd love to see him do some stuff like that. I'd be really excited. And like I said, I'd love to get this one on a longer handle, because this head could easily go onto a 28-inch handle and be just as good or even more effective. I do believe this is an older axe of his. Hoffman said this was his older logo when I talked to him in Axe Junkies Facebook group. So he may have changed some things since then. I honestly can't see any change. His quality is great here, right into what he's doing now. And I follow him on Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff. And I suggest you guys do the same if you want to see a lot of good content. And get one while you can. That's all I could say. He is working like crazy. If you follow him at all, you can see that. And get your hands on an axe is getting pretty tough. But like anything else, if he'll take an order, get on the list. You know, I think his prices are more than fair for a handmade product like this. He's doing the handles and he's doing the head. He's doing both. He's not just buying handles and putting them on. He's doing them too. And you can see him working on those on his videos. But it's a very nice axe. I'm glad I got a chance to use it. Thank you, Joseph, for loaning this to me for so long. I'm glad I got to make a lot of the friends I have in the Bushcraft community. And I'll show you another piece of gear here. Well, I'll wait. I'll bring that over and do that next. But very cool. Get it while you can. And I'm going to have another cup of coffee and come right back. That new Kuksa holds the heat in those pretty good. Ooh, yeah. I think it's better just to get it right out of the way in case anybody asks, and that's probably a silly statement, because you guys always do. The ruck that you see is obviously new to videos. And this came from Hidden Woodsman. A lot of you guys probably know who he is already, Malcolm. I got this from him, I'd say 6 months in my head, but I think it's longer. You can help me out, Malcolm, in the comments, I'm not sure. It's actually the first classic ruck of his that he's done. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the first one that I got. It's actually 2 tones of green, slightly more forest green and a little more OD up here. You may or may not be able to see that in the camera. And the reason it's a classic ruck, it's a classic 1 pouch in the front and 2 side bags. And I love this pack. And this isn't a review, this was a gift from Malcolm. And I'm going to be straight up forward on anything that I review, of whether or how I became into it or what was expected of me of it. Nothing was expected of me of this. Malcolm is a brother in Christ, and we're friends, and it was a gift. So you can take the comments as something biased, or you can just take it as the person you're following here on YouTube's opinion about something. Do with it as you like. I'm very happy with the pack. Malcolm, we did a little bit of back and forth. I couldn't talk him out of it, so we did some trade goods, so if that helps make some of you people who run on that bias review stuff. I did make some patches for him. I'm actually sending him some more here soon, so there is some trade value back and forth, but I still see it as a gift. It's, I believe I said that classic ruck, one in the front, 2 sides in the bag. It just happens that this particular bag is such a great fit for me. It's like the perfect size, so Malcolm really nailed it, and he wasn't always doing this in the backs of them, but I did have it, and I think he does it. You do it on all of them right now, Malcolm. I walked in on this. I've used it some other ways, not in big hikes, obviously, so I can't speak to that. But at the moment, I think it's very comfortable. It just happens to fit me really nice. And once again, handmade here in the United States of America. This is not a denier product from China or Taiwan, like Maxpedition, Condor, and those other guys. Malcolm's stuff is made here, and I will put a link to his website in the description, along with everything else that's mentioned in this video, or I think that somebody might ask about. I'm going to start being a little more in depth in the descriptions, so I'll link to that in here. It's really straightforward. It's just it's an over top bag. He's got flaps, and I can tighten down the top. He really thinks of the things that you need. There's a zip pouch on the inside here that's meshed, and then there's 2 sides right here and there. I have my my first aid kit in here. I have extra water and my pot cover my wife made me in here. Now the axe goes down here to the side, and Malcolm's bag, even if I have the Hoffman axe, which comes up to about here, but his bag is cut just in a way where I could put my boy's axe right on top. I really like that. It's not, I do like it when they're sided. An axe is in the side. There's an easy way to do it. I don't like how Frost River puts it down the back. I've actually found bending down a few times that to dig into the back of my knee, but that's just me. But this, it's cut in a way where it fits together, it packs put together, and the handle sticks right off the top, off the side like an antenna. And that's the way I like to really carry them. But other than that, I did this loadout today. Everything packed in nice. This is a perfect day. I could probably squeeze this to an overnight pack by, I'm not sure what I'd change. I'd change the way I carry water. I'd probably end up putting that in the side bag, and then I could fit a tarp or a hammock or something like that. I could make this work, and you could overpack it a little bit. But yeah, really, I'm just so happy with this pack. Malcolm, I really regret not getting the Velcro panel up here. Maybe that's something we'll have to talk about. Because now that I'm doing Velcro back leather patches and other stuff, and then you sent me ones that I didn't find until a month later in the front. I do want to put patches up here, so I can always do it too. But that's something that might come in the future. But I love it. It's great, the classic ruck. It's the design of Malcolm's I like the most, not just because he gave it to me, but it's because we worked on it. He worked on it with me, and I was to get the first one, and it's the one design that he was doing that I wanted to see most. So, and it's built like a tank, if you can't tell in the video. Overstitched everywhere. Awesome. And that's just my opinion. We'll see what else comes up. Sure, I'll be asked. I already was in that previous video. Me getting ready to go on a hike. And I have this beautiful Kuksa that I got. It's made in northern Norway, and I have his name and from his son-in-law, who sold me this in Norway. Not me in Norway, but they are in Norway, and he sold it to me and sent it to me. He had a whole bunch of them in different, this is the one I picked, he sent to me. I meant to go back and get some more, but he had sold them locally and he was out, so I told him to keep me in the loop when he gets more, because I will buy more. But it was made in 215. I did do a little work to it. He did a lower grit finish on it, and I brought it up to a 320 or 400. It's Arctic birch, obviously, and there's some inclusions, but they're filled. They're fine, and I've never had an issue with it. The grain is just beautiful. The color of the wood. Hot Koslow made this. He's a like I would call you a part-time leather worker, right? I call it Kuksa cord. This happens to be inside out buckskin. The last year my grandfather got, and he weaved me some of these and some other stuff, some coffee bags and stuff you'll see in other videos coming up. I actually made this Bethlehem olive wood bead that goes on the top, which is also a toggle if I want to tuck it in my belt or something like that. I have options. But yeah, I love this. I love this Kuksa. I love mine from Jeff Ballantyne as well. I'll probably rotate them out as the videos go. But yeah, I do love this one. I like the clarosting on it, and I love the shape. This is really a shape that I like. It's undercut. It's a little more oval than round, and there is no flat bottom. I do not like flat bottoms, so I may change the one you got. I got off you, Jeff. But I like a round bottom. It's more organic. But I know you guys like your coffee and you like your coffee cups, so I thought you might like to check that out. A little one-on-one. I really want to content load out this video and also have it as a reference back for any future questions in relation to this stuff. Obviously, I brought out the Hoffman axe today. In addition to that, I have my knife. This is a modified woodlore pattern style. It's a little more pointy than your usual. And you guys know me, that's my style. That's the way I like them. This is antique linear paper micarta. Looks like ivory, antique ivory. Brass fittings, custom etching, Ephesians 6:13. You can look that up if you're interested. And then my logo on the front there, or on the belly, excuse me. And I will be making knives pretty soon. Very slow production. And the FireSteel I had today is one of mine. This is a 5col.com FireSteel. It's Austrian, not Chinese. The same as the LMF factory ones that are made. And the cord is actually laced kangaroo. This is a gift from Jonathan at Badger Claw Leather. He doesn't make these, it's one he had, and he knew I liked it and he gave it to me. That was really cool of him. Like I said earlier in the video, I've made a lot of great friends in the bushcraft community. Some I need to keep in touch with better. But yeah, it's just a simple cross. I made the crossbar for it out of Bethlehem olive wood. A little more tedious than you might think it is to make that, especially to be perfectly 90 degrees and to mount it on there strong. But it does mean something, obviously, but it also has a use, and it has a use. So just covering everything I can today, and I'm gonna wrap up my fire and make it like I was never here today, and then take some pictures on the slow walk out. It's only a few miles, so. don't like walk-in selfie stuff, but just as an ending message. And then this is also, you know, I put it at the very end of the video because I don't want to I don't want this to be a numbers game for me, and I don't want you to have the perception that it is. But if you enjoy the video, you want more like content and more things I would like to do, please like the video, comment, and share it. Please share it. Subscribe, of course. Hit your notifications button so you can see when things pop up. But share it. Share it to Facebook. Share it wherever you want. I don't care as long as it's my video that you're sharing. And I would appreciate it. And if you're on the other social accounts, follow me. That information will be in the description as well, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. So